Dear friends, in today's broadcast we will speak about Shastric basis and inspiration for spiritual partnership. So we are continuing with our presentation of the spiritual partnership guide, which is a written document. It's like an ebook and it's available upon request. So in the Upadeshamrita, or the Nectar of Devotion, book by Srila Prabhupada, originally Upadeshamrita was written by Srila Rupa Goswami, one of our acharyas and one of the main followers of Lord Chaitanya. In the verse 4 of Upadeshamrita, it is stated, Guyam Akyati Prichati. So this verse mentions 6 loving exchanges amongst devotees, and 2 out of those 6 loving exchanges are confidentially inquiring and confidentially revealing one's mind. So this is exactly what is happening in the spiritual partnership session. 2 devotees are inquiring from each other and also listening, and sometimes also sharing realizations, discussing, asking each other questions, and as Bhagavad Gita says, always enlightening each other and always conversing about Krishna and topics related to Krishna. Then another verse from the 2nd chapter of the Bhagavad Gita inspired me to start Gita coaching, and this is also a very foundational verse for spiritual partnership. Some look on the soul as amazing, some describe him as amazing, and some hear of him as amazing, while others, even after hearing about him, cannot understand him at all. So this verse says that the soul is amazing. Basically, every soul is amazing. Why? Because every soul is a divine being. Every soul is a part and parcel of God, and therefore it possesses certain amount of qualities of God. So in the purport to this verse, Srila Prabhupada gives an example of an elephant who has a huge body but a very tiny soul, which is 1/10,000 part of the tip of a hair, is moving this whole body. And then, of course, we see how different souls in different bodies do amazing things. Men, animals, plants, you can see even invisible living beings under the microscope. So one amazing feature of the amazing living entities is consciousness. And when we observe consciousness, there are many scholars who are dedicated to studying consciousness, and of course transcendental literature or the Vedic literature describes soul as conscious or as consciousness, and this consciousness is, we may say, type of knowledge. So the soul is eternally cognizant or knowledgeable, and it is eternal, and it is full of bliss originally. So these 3 features are also, we may say, amazing qualities of the soul. So what does this have to do with the spiritual partnership? Well, if you see the devotee whom you are assisting as a spiritual partner as amazing, as full of potential, then this will be very supportive and very encouraging for that devotee, that somebody sees in him or her some value and that sees their potential. And sometimes you may share, you may communicate their worth and potential so clearly that they start to see it themselves. So for example, many people have experienced that they have maybe heard from their parents or teachers or friends some negative talk or criticism about themselves, and this may have been imprinted in their consciousness or in their mind, and they have a tendency to have a negative self-talk. But Bhagavad Gita is giving us positive information about our existence and about ourselves, and it says that every soul is amazing, and especially every devotee is amazing, because every devotee is trying to approach Krishna, and that makes him special, because he is trying to go back to his original position. Then another is also from the Bhagavad Gita. It's about the mind. It says, one must deliver himself with the help of his mind and not degrade himself. The mind is the friend of the conditioned soul and his enemy as well. So it's very important to use the mind to our advantage, to use the mind for our success, and not allow the mind to implicate us in sinful activities which will bring suffering, and not allow the mind to discourage us, to be negative. So we need to train our mind to be friendly. And how do we do that? By training the mind to focus on God and service to God and spiritual relationships and spiritual service. So the mind is the friend when it helps us to uplift ourselves to the spiritual platform and remain on that platform. Then later in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, the thoughts of my pure devotees dwell in me, their lives are fully devoted to my service, and they derive great satisfaction and bliss from always enlightening one another and conversing about me. So this verse is also the basis for the spiritual partnership, where two devotees enlighten one another. And they find pleasure in this kind of association, because they are talking about God or Krishna. Then in the Srimad Bhagavatam, it is said that Brahmanas and Kshatriyas protect each other. Brahmanas are intellectuals and priests and scientists and teachers, and Kshatriyas are administrators and military. So these are higher sections of society who are supposed to lead and protect other sections. So it is said that the Lord himself is protecting them through each other. So what does that mean? As far as I understand, it means that you can be an instrument in Lord's hands to support others, to protect others. So therefore, in the spiritual partnership, we can protect our fellow spiritual partner, devotee, from the influence of Maya or illusory energy. We can protect them from also self-sabotage, from harming themselves. We can protect them sometimes if they need maybe a shelter where to stay. In any possible way, we can protect our spiritual partner. But the main protection is protection from the illusion, from the illusory energy of the Lord, called Maya, which is the greatest danger for us in this world. So we will continue with other verses and other Shastric bases for the spiritual partnership in our next broadcast. But this was all for today, and I wish you a very nice day.